This is going to be the recording, okay? The final one. Let me ask you something. Have you started your fitness journey yet in 2026? If not, I think I have the perfect program for you. If you're someone over the age of 30 and you want to start a new routine, or you're in the beginning of your fitness journey, or maybe you just rehabbed from an injury, or maybe you're wanting to learn a new skill, this is the perfect program for you. The 1 set of 20 confidence cycle. I just completed 10 weeks of this program and I'm laughing because it's only 28 days, but I had to perfect it. I had to put myself to work. I had to switch out workouts. I had to work on tempo, and you kind of saw this during the series. So if you made it to episode 10 or 11, I think I made 11 episodes. I wanted to keep going, honestly. But if you made it here, you watched all my videos, and I'm so excited because it didn't just become episodes wrapped around subjects within this 1 set of 20. It became a learning experience for me. I learned so much through making these videos, but also it was like recall for me, reminding me about how intentional I need to be in the gym and the things to do to see progress, but also create a great program. So how did I come up with this program? Your girl did this program a couple of times on this channel. You can go check them out. I think I have them in a playlist, and they weren't the same as the program that I built recently. I've switched some things out. I kind of switched up the flow of the program, and now we're here. And that's how I actually created the 28-day confidence cycle. But actually doing the program myself, I was just in a state of burnt out weeks before I finished up this program, because I think I started it on my break. But before that week, I was burnt out. I was tired. I was plateauing. I didn't feel like I was getting stronger. I actually felt weaker. And it didn't just have to do with what I was doing in the gym, but also what I wasn't doing outside the gym. So that's how we kind of came up with this program. It's a restart. It's great for beginners wanting to get into the gym and learning how to be consistent, and also feeling confident under the bar. And you may have rehabbed from injury, so you want to get more confident in the gym and under the bar, and also in real life. Or you want to learn a new skill. It's all about creating repetition and being intentional, right? Or you may feel like you need to take a step back, right? And perfect your form. And also really value intensity within a set. I don't think enough people talk about the intensity in a set or even in a rep. Like I think I'm gonna make that into another video. But before I ramble, that's how I was feeling and where burnt out came out. Like that's where it came from. It came from burnt out. When stuff get hard and you actually decide to sit down, when the good Lord tell you to sit down, He helps you come up with such great ideas and programs. And I'm laughing because that's exactly what He did for me. And He really helped me create a beautiful program that I love and that I had so much doing. I enjoyed this program. That's why I did it for 10 weeks, to really perfect it. I enjoyed doing it. So it has a lot of love in it. So let's get into it. Let's get into my results, how I feel. We'll talk about some difficulties I had. Okay, so you might feel like me and feel like when you're not lifting heavy, you're like losing something. And that is not true. Like I had to tell myself, you have nothing to lose. You don't have to lift heavy all the time. We can work our way back up to that and be even better, right? But here's what I know about myself. I love the buildup. I love the journey. I love the challenge. And I like getting back to basics. Sometimes I gotta be like, oh, let me go back. Okay. So I started lighter with this program on purpose because I felt weak, but because I'm rebuilding, right? Let's fast forward to week 10. So in week 10, I accomplished some progression. I'm only human, right? So I also have to teach myself how to be consistent in the gym, but also the other things like being consistent with tracking your weight, how much you're lifting, being consistent with how you're progressing into other workouts, but also the way in which I was pairing the workouts. So did it make sense? So this is my rundown. So in back squats, I progressed in weight 3 or 4 times. It was 10 weeks, y'all. So that's not but I progressed 3 times with consistency and being intentional during those progression errors, and I was able to rep out 1 set of 21 twice with the new the higher weights, my higher PRs. I guess my higher weights, I was able to do one set of 21, which wasn't even intentional. I just kept going, right? So I built up endurance in this program, and I got stronger, and that's what I wanted. I guess that's what I wanted, to be honest. I just wanted to feel good in the gym again. Also be consistent and be excited about my workout again. And because on my last program, I kind of felt out of the routine of the program of why am I doing this? Okay. So I still can't get over that I hit that one set of 20. This also means that the program is working. This program made me feel powerful, right? This program made me feel powerful, not just because of the aesthetics, right? Not the body goals, but just feeling strong, feeling solid, stable in my core. I truly felt confident under the bar. I tell people all this all the time when like I'm complimented on what my body looks like. I'm like, yo, I'm trying. And to be honest, I feel like, you know what? Let's not lie. When I first started getting my fitness journey, I wanted a body art. I wanted a bad body. And that was my goal. Also, that's what I was proud of. But through time and phases and growth, I be like, the body ain't even about the body in my mind. Yo, it's about the strength I developed. And physically, but mentally, it's the things I learned. It was the hardships I got over. It was the difficult lifts that I finally progressed in. Like, this is what I got from this program. And I want everybody else to feel this way too, where it doesn't become a physical thing anymore. It's majestic. It becomes a superpower, you know? I didn't mean to go in depth, but I did. So I'll share with you how I got here. We're gonna focus back on week 1, where I really honed in on ankle mobility outside of that one set of 20 program. So even during that time I had off, I was still doing ankle mobility at home because I felt like that was a hindrance in my last program, and I felt it. I felt like I really needed to work on my mobility and be intentional about it. So I even been sharing a lot of mobility stuff on social media because I needed it. Like, you know how you're in a program and you feel like you need to focus on one thing. Like, let me focus on rehabbing my shoulder. This was actually something I had to actually do because I talked about it in 2 programs, but I wasn't fully ingesting the information I was spitting out. So after I made those 2 episodes about the overhead press, I really was understanding why I was having pain in my shoulder. Also, comparing it to sitting at a desk and working. So I had to make lifestyle adjustments. I had to create mobility and strength programs that would help. I had to switch out a workout to help with strengthening my shoulder in the one set of 20. So I had to make it make sense. So doing the overhead press, I paired first with another workout. I can't remember. I think I said it in one of my episodes, but I paired it with face pulls, which really helped. Face pulls is that's that work. But with the back squat, I did ankle mobility outside of that one set of 20. I felt like this was a good time to focus on moving better and also on ankle and hip mobility. So I primed my body with dorsiflexion rock. I also did some hamstring stretches, deep lunges. I loved the dorsiflexion though, just on the ground, just rocking my hips forward, because I did so many different versions of dorsiflexion. I did so many sets that had to do with any variation of dorsiflexion. So I did kneeling, the kneeling ankle rocks. I just did ankle rocks. I did circling your ankle, right? And then I also did banded ankle rock, like kneeling ones. I did more elevated versions. I did a couple of versions. So this helped me with creating a better squat and hitting depth. I think that was another goal of mine, is to hit depth and also work on my tempo, slowing it down. Because when you are starting to feel frustrated, sometimes our reps get faster and they start to look crazy. So I had to slow it down, do slower reps, work on my tempo, which helped me create a solid squat. So less forward collapsing, right? And more control in that descent. For squat depth and control, week 2 and 3, I had rushed the sets like I just talked about. So I took note by week 9 and 10, I had better squats, control, and a smoother tempo. I literally had to make a video about tempo and not rushing your sets because that's what I was doing. This wasn't just no video. a subject I came up with. Hey, this is just what I was doing. So I was like, let's make a video about it. And it kind of was me reminding myself of what I was doing and how to fix it. And I think it definitely helped because I think once I started doing that, lowering your tempo help you get stronger. I don't care what nobody say. Slowing it down helps you feel more stable. You have a lot more stability. You have a lot more control. When you have control, you feel stronger. And in slow control reps, that's a perfect like combo. This is where the struggle came when I started doing overhead press, because I'll let you know during my first couple one set of 20s, I didn't do overhead press. I had dumbbell flies. That wasn't the one set of 20. It's an accessory too. This is a great workout, but was it? Dude, I don't remember what it was. I have to look back at footage. I'm trying to remember, but I don't. But I had a lot of progression concerns. I wasn't upping my weight as much as I was in all the other compound movements. I was on track with the back squats, with RDLs, and also with bent over rows. I just was having a hard time with overhead press, I would say. So between week 1 and 6, I did well with progressing, and I felt like I was progressing on time. But after that, it was a downfall. Life got in the way. I started feeling frustrated because I wasn't progressing. I needed to work more on my form, so that's where I started honing in on better mobility and also improving how I sit at my desk outside of the gym, and also stretching outside of the gym, because you just see me. I just sat up because I remembered. So my rep quality was actually kind of poor. Okay. But we're working on it. I'm not going to say now it's the greatest. I had some great advice on YouTube from a couple of people, but also I agreed with a couple of people too. Like, overhead press are no joke. They're challenging, but I'm growing to love them. Also, I did work on my form the last 2 weeks of the program, so they looked a lot better, but I'm also going to lower the weight. I'm going to go in and lower the weight again until I really do well. I think when I get stuck, I just feel like I need to progress anyway, and it's like that doesn't help. Because it also hurts you outside of the gym. And then we have our RDLs, right? I was able to progress with controlled movements. Also, I progressed from using dumbbells to the barbell. This also led into my bent over rows. I did dumbbells and then I went into barbells. I don't know about y'all, but Deanna is a barbell girly. I love using barbells for more strength training workouts, and then I like using my resistance training workouts, and then I like using dumbbells during my kind of like HIIT workouts. Okay, my weight loss workouts, I like using dumbbells. So I feel like with a barbell, I'm able to control the weight better, but also I think my form is just better with a barbell. It keeps me locked in. So with the RDLs, I was able to progress pretty fast, and then also with the bent over rows, I was able to control my movement better rather than the dumbbells. So I'm a dumbbell girly, but here are some changes I made in this program, right? We're progressing, we're doing well, but in the building aspect of this program, I had ISO split squats before I had the regular split squats. I wanted this program to be beginner friendly, so that's where I had to make some changes. It just didn't make sense for me to do ISO squats first without learning the movement first and doing split squats. Break it. I need to cool down. I felt like I started to realize in this phase, I wanted more dynamic split squats over isometric holds, because I wasn't just building the tension, right? I was rebuilding movement. Repetition teaches control, and control builds confidence, right? So pretty simple, When you build these programs, you really have to keep things like that in mind. It really is, you might think it's small, but it really isn't. It can change the dynamic of your results, your motivation, everything. That's what I'm learning. Also, did I have glute bridges? No, I had split squats. I had elevated split squats. And the only reason I brought them into this program, because I had them in my last, I wanted to keep doing them. But I said, if I'm going to do RDLs, I needed something a little bit opposite, especially in where it was in the program, in the order. I didn't want to create burnout. So I felt like doing more of a hinge movement, which is something we do every single day. And then, make it a little funky with the type of glute bridge I did. Check it out when you do this program. You'll be like, oh, I feel you. So that's the question. I think we already know the answer. I think it's the perfect program for beginners, adults with only 45 minutes to spare, okay? Right before you go to work, right? Rehabbers, people who want to learn a new skill, right? Confidence under the bar and having confidence under the bar, and also just feeling capable, confident, and able in real life. Right? That's the whole point of my programs, of my channel, is to feel confident in real life, to move easier in real life. Now, I don't fear doing heavy reps, or I felt like I got weaker. To be honest, I feel like I'm stronger. Also understanding my nervous system as things starts to change, as tempo changes, as tension changes, as thought changes. So what you be getting with it? Like, high reps, repetition, motor learning, really focusing in on mobility, creating a good warm-up that helps earn those positions, help earn that bottom squat, help earn that bottom, also own that bottom position in your back squat, own that bird dog with your core, baby, with your core. It was good. It was truly my experience, but also how I kind of like came up with this program. This is a great program to start. It's only 28 days. Don't do it as long as I did. I was just, I was working, I was taking notes, I was running experiments. Give this program a try. I'm so happy that you guys stuck around. And if you haven't checked out the series, go ahead and check it out. It's kind of like what I've been going through, but also in a informal and experienced way. So I'll see you guys in my next video.
As I get a little older, I realize life is perspective, and my perspective may differ from yours. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been down with me.